forgive me, this is just something I felt like commenting on that actually doesn't have anything to do with video games, but being Mr. King Geek I am, I just felt the need to comment. I don't know if you know this, but George Lucas is once again tweaking things in his latest escapade to re-release the original Star Wars trilogy. Now, I want to go on record and say that, in all honesty, I am not a fanboy, not about anything. And if there was anything I would be a fanboy of, it'd be Star Wars. I've literally grown up with Star Wars. It's been there for forever. But so I'm not exactly fanboying out. I'm not screaming and screeching about the fact that, oh my god, he's changing my childhood passion or whatever it is fanboys say. I'm not actually sure. But I want to stress, and I'll go ahead and give George Lucas some credit too, because touching up the space battles like he did in the DVD re-release or re-release or whichever release that was actually pretty cool. And you know what? I'm okay with that. I'm okay with using the graphics where the graphics should be, as an addendum to the plot, as something that adds to the story or something that is an integral part of the story, rather than supplanting the story, which is the mistake so many people make, including George Lucas himself in more recent films, which we're not going into. But I'm sorry, I'm just reminded of a interview that Ewan McGregor did where he had to film the very last scene of episode 3, and he's sitting on a box doing this. The box isn't moving. He's just doing this, pretending he's on a thing. It's a green box with a green backdrop. Yeah, point made. Anyways. But special effects have their place, and I'm okay with that. And I'm even okay with most of the changes he had. The hand shot first thing, not actually cool with that. Not because it doesn't, not because I'm a big hand fanboy or anything, but because of the fact that it was so unnecessary and made no sense. What was the point of that? It's Han freaking Solo. Do I need to add anything to that? Really? Do I? What else is there to say, So, the real thing that bugs me about this is the fact that he took the single, in my opinion, the single most moving, powerful moment in the entire trilogy. Indeed, in movies, in moviedom, in cinematic history. Cinematographical? I don't know, whatever. It's cinematic history, and decided to add to that. And I am talking about the scene in Return of the Jedi where the music is playing. John Williams is going in the background and flowing, and it's just it's building and building, and Palpatine is electrocuting Luke to death. And Vader looks at Luke, and he's broken, he's battered, he's beaten, he is torn, he's got char on his freaking outfit. He is clearly in a bad way, and he looks at Luke, and he looks at Palpatine, and there's not even an expression, because there doesn't have to be. There was so much emotion, there was so much power in that silence as he just looks and then decides to save his son. That was such a powerful moment. Why do you add to that? Why do you... I was using an analogy earlier, and I'm going to go back to this. It's like if I had successfully crafted the Hope Diamond, or a significant replica of the Hope Diamond, but whatever. I've made this beautiful work of art. It is awesome. It's fantastic. Maybe it was luck. Maybe it was chance. Maybe it was because lots of people worked with me on it. But whatever the point is, here's the Hope Diamond. I don't go back 20 years later and say, you know what? I'm going to do a doodle on this of some Martians eating a dinosaur. Because when you have something so potent and so powerful and so wonderful and so moving, you don't change it. You don't. That's how that works. You can't add from it. You can only detract to it, whether you are putting into it or taking out of it. You are still detracting from the scene. And when I use my Martians and dinosaurs doodle reference because what he did was he made Vader say, no, just like he did in the third movie. Just like he did in Revenge of the Sith. Do you think that adds anything to that scene? Because I don't. Maybe that's just me and the fact that I have a functioning brain. Sometimes. But I don't think that added anything. Anyways, I just had to rant about that because it makes so little sense. It's like... you know what? I can't even come up with a better analogy. It's like I made the frickin' Hope Diamond and I decided to doodle on it in crayon. Why?